Before the fall of the spiral of Etherion, beneath the eastern slopes of the Dark Mountain, there was a city carved not just from stone, but from the will of a people who never bowed to time. Its name was Itharûn. Unlike human cities built beneath open skies or elven halls bathed in ethereal light, Itharûn grew inward, as if it were a living extension of the mountain itself. Centuries were needed to carve its main halls, decades to shape its columns, its hanging bridges, its rising tunnels. Every chiseled stone bore the name of its sculptor, a pact between the craftsman and eternity. Its chambers echoed with the constant heat of the forges, fed by underground veins of living ember, which the dwarves called the heart of the earth. There was always the sound of hammers, the scent of molten metal, the warmth of creation. Swords forged in Itharûn would not break. Shields crafted there could withstand the fire of winged beasts. But above all, the weapons of Itharûn were memory. For each blade bore the name of an ancestor. Each piece of armor, the sigil of the lineage it would serve. Forging in Itharûn was not an act of war. It was a rite of continuity. That was the vision that sustained the dwarves of the mountain. Not domination, but endurance. So when the world changed, they were slow to notice. The spiral of Etherion, which had spun above the clouds for ages, was invisible beneath the rock. But even the mountain's roots felt it break. The first warning came as a tremor, the second as silence. In the council chambers, the elders spoke of astral instability, of arcane storms, but in the depths of the tunnels, where the flames flickered without cause, the blacksmiths knew something had been broken, and it was neither stone nor steel. Then came the true tremors, not small, not fleeting. The stone, which had sheltered them for millennia, began to scream, cracking, fissures, explosions of heat from the lowest galleries, lights that should never have been seen underground, tearing the ceilings like inverted lightning. Itharûn resisted for days, for weeks longer than any city above. But even stone is not eternal. And when the central tunnels collapsed, the great halls were swallowed by the earth. The trade routes vanished. The lava canals overflowed and consumed entire passages, and the dwarves, those who survived, fled. Some sought other strongholds, others took refuge among humans or elves, but all bore the same look in their eyes, the weight of an irreplaceable loss, all, except one. His name was Dorgrum Stoneforge, born in the northern wing, descendant of a long line of armorers. Dorgrum was never noble. He wore no insignias, never sat among the elders, but from his youth, his hands were black with coal, and his chest full of honor. He was raised in the forge, learned to listen to the metal, to respect the fire, never to rush the hammer. A rushed blade kills its bearer, his father would say. When the city began to fall, Dorgrum helped evacuate the young. He pushed carts, held up walls, but when the last family passed through the southern gate, he stayed. And why? Because Itharûn still pulsed there, because the forge still burned, because to Dorgrum Stoneforge, as long as the fire remained, the city lived. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. Dorgrum lived with little. Water from a shallow vein, dried meat left behind, and silence. But every day, he forged, alone, at the same rhythm, with the same precision. No one came to claim his works, yet he made them and he marked them. Each sword bore the name of a fallen companion, each shield an ancient crest, each helm a short prayer carved in dwarvish runes. At the end of each creation, he placed it carefully on a stone shelf, as one might prepare an offering to the dead. Itharûn was empty, but in the forge chamber, memory still lived. Then came the scavengers, surface nomads, grave robbers, devourers of ruins. They had heard legends of a forge still burning, of forgotten artifacts, and they came, armed, greedy, loud. They descended through the galleries like worms, tore down doors, broke seals, and reached the chamber where the fire still burned. There, they saw an old dwarf, broad-shouldered, apron scorched, arms tattooed with forgotten sigils. Dorgrum did not move. He simply struck the hammer once more, though a metallic sound echoed through the hall. And then he turned. There was no hatred in his eyes, no fear, only certainty. The certainty of one who had already chosen his path. What happened there, few will ever know. Some say Dorgrum fought them all and prevailed. Others claim he sealed the chamber with a final blow and brought the roof down. The truth was lost with the ashes. When explorers returned decades later, they found most of the city collapsed, tunnels buried, halls consumed, but one chamber remained intact, the forge. And upon the anvil lay a helmet, black as coal, with a crest of dark silver, and carved on its side, in faded dwarven runes, were the words, "So it shall not be forgotten." No signature, no insignia, but scholars knew, and those who recognized the sigil engraved on the hammer's pommel knew that there lay the echo of a people, the final strike of a lineage, and the flame of a name that would never be extinguished. Dorgrum Stoneforge, the last blacksmith of Itharûn.